Hi guys, it's Wenji. So for the case study today, I'm going to talk about the United Express Flight 1344 incident in 2017. It was a pretty popular topic back then, and it caused a series of news reports about the incident went on for a couple months. So first, I know all of you should certainly know about United Airlines, but I'm just going to do a brief introduction for it. First of all, United Airlines is the third largest airline in the world, and it is a founding member of the Star Airlines, the world's largest airlines with a total of 28 members airline. It has 8 hubs, with Chicago O'Hare being the largest in terms of passenger carried and the number of departures. The reason why I'm mentioning the Chicago O'Hare here is because that it is the location that incident took place. And what is United Express? United Express is the brand name for the regional branch of United Airlines, under which 8 individually owned regional airlines operate short and medium-haul feeder flights. So let's jump into the overview of the case. What actually happened in the incident was that on April 9, 2017, at Chicago O'Hare International Airport, David Dowdon, a Vietnamese-American passenger, was injured while being forcibly removed from a fully aboard sold-out flight to Louisville International Airport. He refused to give up his seat when requested because he needed to see a patient the next day after. That is when the Chicago Department of Aviation Security Office were called to remove him from the plane. In the process, they stuck Dow's face against an armrest and pulled him, apparently unconscious, by his arm along the aircraft aisles past row of onlooking passengers. The video of incident recorded by a passenger on that plane went viral on social media, resulting in anger over the violent incident. So let's take a look at the video about what actually happened in the incident.
Everything in life is a negotiation. When you cross the street is a negotiation.
We turn next tonight to the other firestorm, this one over the passenger being dragged off of a United flight. At first told the flight was overbooked. The image is now seen by millions around the world, outraged over how the airline handled it. Well, tonight here, United CEO out with a new statement. ABC's Alex Perez at O'Hare Airport for us.
Tonight, United Airlines hit by severe turbulence. The video of that passenger being dragged off his flight to make room for United employees is seen by hundreds of millions around the world.
Oh my God, look at what you're doing to him!
He said, well, why am I being chosen? What did I do?
Even after being pulled from the plane, the passenger bolting back into the cabin.
Nowhere, we saw him running back. Towards the end of the plane, he had blood streaming down his face. He appeared to be very just distraught, very confused. He was not in the right state of mind at this point.
Tonight, that passenger, who has been identified as 69-year-old Dr. David Dow of Kentucky, is undergoing treatment at a Chicago hospital. Records show his license was temporarily suspended after a felony conviction more than a decade ago involving his prescribing of drugs. The passengers report he did nothing unusual other than refuse to give up his seat on the overbooked flight. Tonight, the investigation ongoing, with one of the aviation security officers put on leave. The CEO of United, Oscar Munoz, who received a Public Relations Award as Communicator of the Year last month, yesterday called the passenger, quote, disruptive and belligerent. But tonight, in an about-face, now apologizing directly to the passenger, saying no one should ever be mistreated this way.
It's a teachable moment for United to look and say, how do we make sure something like this doesn't happen again?
But the damage may have already been done. United losing $700 million in market value before settling at a $255 million loss for the day. and flyers wary, many asking, even though the airlines have the right to remove passengers in similar situations, should it ever come to this?
And Alex Perez with us live tonight from the United Terminal there in Chicago. And Alex, United CEO today now calling this a, quote, truly horrific event that requires immediate investigation.
Yeah, that's right, David. The CEO says they are investigating the incident and any possible changes to their policy on oversold flights. He says that review will be made available by the end of the month. David?
Alex, thank you. And we should mention here that tomorrow on Good Morning America, an exclusive interview with United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz about the incident and the airline's response. That's tomorrow morning on GMA.
And that was basically what happened in that case. It was actually a tragedy, but how did United Airlines handle it? What action did they take? On April 9th, on the day that incident happened, United issued a statement saying that Flight 3411 from Chicago to Louisville was overbooked. After our team looked for volunteers, one customer refused to lift the aircraft voluntarily, and law enforcement was asked to come to the gate. We apologize for the overbooked situation. Further details on the removed customers should be directly to authorities. Then, in the next morning, the United CEO Oscar Munoz issued a statement which appeared to justify the removal of doubt, referring to it as accommodating their customers. Munoz also sent an email to the United staff commending the crew's action for following established procedures, and referring to doubt as disruptive and belligerent. And then, 2 days after the incident, Munoz issued an additional statement, changing his attitude, apologizing, and promising that this type of incident would never happen again on a United aircraft. He said, "No one should ever be mistreated this way." During a television interview on April 12th, Munoz announced that United Airlines would no longer use police in involuntary bumping situations. He apologized to Dow and his family and said, "That is not our family at United is. You saw us at a bad moment. This can and never will happen again on a United Airlines flight. That is my promise." So that was suspicious that what actually changed his mind, and we have to look into the impact that this incident made on the United Airlines. First of all, on the social media, the video shared by the passenger on that plane, shared by 87,000 times and viewed 6.8 million times in less than a day. That made a huge negative impact on United Airlines' reputation on social media. And then, the stock market. United suffered a drop in stock price on Wall Street following that incident. And as we saw in the video, that it lost more than $700 million to the incident. And considering the concern of customer preferences, about 79% of people who had heard of the incident would choose a non-United Airlines flight. About 44% would choose a non-United Airlines flight, even if it costs $66 more and took additional 3 hours. So how would PR professionals evaluate this handling of the incident by United Airlines and their CEO? Actually, Munoz and United were sharply criticized for their initial statements. PR professionals described the handling of this incident as public relations disaster. Also, a public relations expert, Rupert Younger, said that United should have moved more quickly and been more generally apologetic from the ever start. What was ironically was that Munoz had been named PR Week's Communicator of the Year 2017, just a week prior to the incident. However, his caller's response left a very poor taste in customers' mouths. Now, let's do some quick analysis of this incident. What actually did United do wrong? First of all, the lack of awareness by employees. It is a common sense that it should be a common sense that even when employees who needed a seat were considered must-ride passengers who had traveled to another city to work as aircraft crew, passengers who pay for the ticket and purchase their seat should never be forced to leave their seats involuntarily, especially with violent action to an old man almost 70 years old. Another thing they did wrong was the inappropriate apologies they did at the beginning. The initial statement issued by United they even apologized for the overbooked situation rather than just simply apologize to the people who got injured by dragging from his seat. And more importantly, the poor wrong decision made by their CEO. Munoz used the word recommending to describe the situation, and he tries to minimize the problem when he first stated this issue. Then, he claimed the passenger was disruptive and belligerent and stated that employees were just simply following established procedures from dealing with this situation. The more Munoz tried to make the United seem innocent, actually, the more guilty they appear to the public. Now, let's do some quick discussion about the incident. The first discussion topic we have is, if you were a member on crew when the incident happened, would you do something different to stop the incident from happening? Secondly, do you think it is the right for airline companies to ask passengers to give up their seats for airline staff when the plane is sold out, and why? Actually, it is legal that the airline company has right to ask passengers to give up their seat and leave their seat, but voluntarily to leave the air flight. But is the violence action like this happened in this incident actually acceptable? And what do you think about this? Third problem is that what do you think was the strongest factor in this incident that caused so much attention on social media? Was the controversial authority of airline company or ethnicity? Because I remember that it went on viral on Chinese social media because they first thought the passenger was Chinese American, and the 4 passengers who were asked to leave the air flight were all non-white people. So, do you think that the reason why they caused so much attention on the social media worldwide because of the controversial authorities that airlines should or should not have the right to ask passengers to leave voluntarily, or it was the ethnicity was the problem, and it was the ethnicity was the problem. Last but not least, if you were the PR team of United, do you think there were any actions you could make differently after the incident to reduce negative impact on the company on both social media and mainstream media? If so, what would that be? So that pretty much completes my presentation, and here are the references.